Hello, and thank you for joining me on another episode of The Average EV. Today, I'm going to be talking about my new ride that has replaced my Kona electric that was taken way too soon for me. That's right, my 2015 Tesla Model S. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, as you may already know, a deer ran out in front of my Kona electric. It totaled it and I had to get another car, but I'm waiting to get the Volvo EX30. So I had to find a car that wasn't gonna lose too much value and I would be able to trade in and not lose a lot of money. Now, fortunately, I'm gonna be able to claim the used EV tax credit. I'm gonna do some videos on that because I think that'll be helpful for some people. So that'll help out financially a little bit as well. But I did a lot of research. There's a couple cars that I could have gotten, but this ended up, in my opinion, being the best short-term option for me. I looked at Bolt, Kona, Nero. What else did I look at? A bunch of cars, VW, e-Golf, a bunch of stuff like that. But this one ended up being what I went with. So what I wanted to do for this video, show you around the car, kind of give you my perspective about it. I don't necessarily have the most positive perspective about this car, but it is a really nice car. It's a comfortable ride and it is going to get the job done for the time being. So let's flip it around, take a look at the car. All right, here we go. All right, everybody. So here it is, the 2015 Tesla Model S 70. So this is the rear wheel drive, not the all wheel drive. It's black. Got the nice sunroof that opens up, and then we have the gray interior. There it is. Looks really nice. I do believe it is leather. Not do believe, I know it's leather. Really nice big back seat, as you can see. Fits a car seat. We could scoot that seat up a little bit, but he fits in nicely back there. Let's open it up and take a look at the trunk. Huge trunk space, really nice. I fit like everything. It's almost actually too big, which is weird to say, but I'm so used to having such a small trunk with the Kona that this is like twice the size of the Kona trunk. Here you have this little storage space, very big. To give a little perspective, it's got the 60/40, or really that looks more like 33/66. But folding seat, so if I need to put anything bigger, I certainly could. And it has the power trunk, closes on its own. And here, let me get the fob. We have the front, and it's actually a very, come on. Oh my gosh, I'm clicking. Click, click, there it is. All right. We got the front, okay, not power, but there it is. Huge, absolutely giant front. Could certainly fit a spare tire in there if you'd like. There is the little tow attachment, and then you've got a lot more space back there. You can see that's where I'm keeping the charger right now. And this one did come with the charger. It has both the level 1 and the level 2 1450 adapter. There's a windshield washer fluid. One of the few maintenance things you need to do. And then when you go to close, if you're not sure, you just push gently, and that's it to close that. So that's kind of the outside. And this is equipped with hardware 1, so you can see the camera there. And hardware 1 is fine. It's fine. I'll give you my impressions of it when we get in the car, but a really nice car. Looks great going down the road. It's definitely one of the biggest cars I've ever owned. It feels like I'm driving like a boat down the street, but it's super nice. The wheels are generally in good condition. I think there's like a light scuffing here or there. They're very dirty right now. I had cleaned the car, but it rained a little bit. And so there we are. So let's go ahead, hop inside, and I'll give you my impressions about the interior and then just the driving of the car. Okay, so welcome to the inside of the Tesla Model S. Really nice interior. I'm gonna show a couple of things with the camera facing this way, then I'll flip it around and kind of give you a tour of the rest of the interior. But here you can see the really nice panoramic sunroof, and let me show you. This is really nice. It Opens up. I think this was only, I don't know how many years this was available, but at least to 2015. And it's just super nice, a nice little touch. And I do enjoy opening it up and just feeling the sun. Obviously not best for the efficiency, but you know, when I can charge at home, it's not that big of an issue. So now I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a little bit more of the interior. All right, so this particular Tesla came with pretty much all of the packages except for the executive package, which basically gives you a little like pull down in the back seat. So there you can see there's no center that pulls down to put cups or whatever, but that's okay. It's still really, really nice. So let's kind of work from the driver and then around the car. So here it has the nice display, which you don't get in the Model 3, but you still get obviously in the Model S and X. I actually really enjoy having this here. When I get the Volvo EX30, this does not exist, and everything's going to be on the center console there. I'll get used to it, but I have been enjoying this, especially for navigation. Something that's different for me, at least, is the fact that the drive mode selector is right here on the right stalk. And here you've got windshield wiper, which is just the turning knob. And then, you know, right turn, left turn, and then high beams. You push out, which I don't know what. Oh, I guess I have my high beams on. Whoops. All right, so that's that. And then down here, I don't know if you all can see it very well. There it is. This is your cruise control and autopilot. So this sets the car length distance. You can turn it. Let me see if I can get it a little bit clearer for you all. You can turn it. This is set, and then you can do faster, slower, and then you pull it toward you twice to activate autopilot. And yeah, so that's kind of it with that. You've got your volume control, skip track. This opens up this menu here, and you can scroll through and change all those things. So if I wanted to change fan speed, sunroof, recent calls, contacts, that's how you would do that. And then voice command, and there is a horn. All right, down here, you've got all the window buttons and then your mirror adjusts as well. This car has the Alcantara material. I don't know, whatever. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Some people think it's cool. Some people think it's stupid. But this does have the Alcantara. We have our little sun visor. They're kind of small, but the view is pretty small, so that makes sense completely. And here we have the infotainment. It's slow, I'm going to be honest. Let me show you. We're rocking software 11.0, so that's from 2022. Navigation data is up to date. This one had the highway autopilot and the only limited premium connectivity, which is annoying, but whatever. And then again, yeah, there's the autopilot computer 1. It's okay, not the best in the world, not the worst, but there we are. Just quickly show you all the controls. You can control the front, the trunk, sunroof. You can vent it. You can fold the mirrors, fog light on and off. Here you can change your different driving modes, I guess. So chill versus standard, comfort, standard, sport. Adjust your regenerative braking. Charging, you can set all your charging things there. Autopilot, again, if you get a car with autopilot, you need to make sure you turn it on prior to driving. Otherwise, you're going to have to stop your car, put it in park, and turn it on. This does have summon. I don't have the the confidence to do that yet, but I'll do it eventually. And you can set all those settings there. All your vehicle settings. I love that you can walk away and the door locks. That is really nice. All your light settings, display. I leave my battery on percentage, but if you wanted to do distance, you could do that. Rated is based off the EPA rating. Ideal is based off of dreams. I don't know. I don't look at that at all. Trips, you can set all your trips and see what's going on there. Navigation, safety, service, which you don't really need to use. And then here, if you need to get any upgrades. So I guess I'll have to be getting premium connectivity eventually. So there's that. So that's kind of the infotainment system. I do have HomeLink set up, which is nice. You can set up your Wi-Fi at home. It would be there where the LTE is. And all your different buttons down here. Nothing really is that exciting, but I do love having the Spotify built in because it's actually nice to walk into the car and music starts playing automatically. Actually, before you even, like as you open the door, music starts playing, which is really nice. And then you click here, and that brings you back to the map. So that's that, and you can click here and look at the chargers and all that stuff. You can see there's no superchargers around where I live at all. So, whatever. So that's the infotainment system. Works pretty well. It is annoying, I will admit, to get to climate control because you have to like click and pull up. But you can set it. It has dog mode, camp mode. This does have the butt warmers on all the seats, heated steering wheel, heated windshield, which would be nice in the winter. You can schedule climate as well. And then anything else? Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. If you want to put on the rear camera, there it is. But yeah. Okay, so that is that. It has a glove box. The glove box button is right here. Click that bad boy. It pops down, and then you gotta manually close it. Here's your hazard lights. But yeah, so it works well enough. It's not like the fanciest in the world, but I can't complain. Here's just a quick tour of the back, which I've shown a little bit, but there it is. This car, let me see if I can drop this down and show you all. It does have vents, so there they are. And yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip around, kind of give you my impressions of the car, and, you know, should you get it or not if you find a used Elder, is what I've been calling it, Elder Tesla. All right, so yeah, I've been driving this for like a week, I think, maybe 2 weeks. It's very comfortable. When I drive down the road, I think it's very quiet, especially compared to A, my Hyundai Kona, and B, I've been in a Tesla Model 3. It's way quieter than a Model 3, in my opinion, especially going highway speeds. So that is nice. It's probably the same as the ID4. Maybe the ID4 is a little bit quieter. The suspension is not the best. It's this does not have the air suspension, so I feel everything. It's definitely not great. Just like my experience in the Tesla Model 3, not very good suspension. However, I heard that the new Highland refresh has a much better suspension. So if you're looking for a really good suspension, there's this glare. I'm trying to get rid of that. But anyways, the Highland has better suspension, so maybe you could look at that if you want a really nice suspension. But obviously, this car is just a temporary car for me, and that's not going to be a huge deal, but comfort and a nice suspension for a long term is going to be really important to me. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Autopilot 1. It's fine. It's not great. It tends to favor the right side of the road, I notice, which I don't like. But then there's at times it pulls me over to the left, and like so much so where it feels as though it's going to cross over the double yellow lines. I don't know if it would, but I don't like to take my chances. So then I take over and I correct it to where I want to be, which is in the center of the lane. The Volkswagen ID4, I think, does a really good job of keeping you in the center of the lane. And then if you want to adjust to the left or right, and then you can set it, that's nice. This doesn't allow you to set it that I'm aware of. If anyone knows, you can comment down below. But that's not my favorite thing in the world. I also noticed that the Autopilot 1 tends to not work as well in the evening. So I don't know, because when an oncoming car has the bright lights, I guess that freaks the camera out or something like that. So I've noticed that tends to not be great. So that's that as far as the Autopilot 1. Okay. Some things I do like, it's kind of a small thing, but when someone calls, you can easily answer it from the steering wheel, which I think is really nice, and you can decline it as well very easily. I think that the heated steering wheel is too hot. Personally, I've never had a heated steering wheel, so maybe I'm just being a little too picky, but I like warm, not like molten, and I feel like it burns my hands, so then I have to turn it off. And sometimes it is a little challenging to turn it off on the infotainment while you're driving. I wonder, can you turn it off? Yeah, I don't think you can turn it off from the steering wheel, so it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I like the power adjustable seats, and it has easy entry, but sometimes I notice it doesn't always put me back in the position that I want to be. Now, I don't know if it's because I put it in drive too soon. I think that's what it is. So I'll keep working on that. And maybe it doesn't complete setting up my setting. So I found I've had to adjust it a couple times, but yeah, I wouldn't complain too much about that. Okay. Now, when you go to buy an older EV, most people's concern is the battery and the range. So I have charged this up to 100%, and it tells me that I'm going to get 220 miles. And I think this was originally rated for like 230 or 240. So that is, what, about a 10% degradation? Did I do my math right? Or a little less than, maybe 8% degradation, which isn't the end of the world. And again, I'm not using this on road trips, although I am going to take one road trip in it just to see what it's like to drive an older, slower charging EV. But it's fine for me. It's fine for my needs. I can't wait to get back in the car that has a little bit better battery, but it's okay. The charging is not ideal. I haven't done my normal 10 to 80 yet, but in my limited observations of charging, it is slow. It peaks at like 100ish now, and then by 50, 60, 70, it gets down to like 50 kilowatts, 40, and then like 35 is the slowest I've kind of seen it go. And then it rides that for a long time. So definitely, if you are looking to travel quickly, an older Tesla, at least older Tesla Model S, 2013, 14, 15 generation might not be for you. But if you only occasionally supercharge, or like you just go to your local supercharger, you're probably going to be fine. This gets charged at home the majority of the time, so it's not that big a deal for me. So that's kind of my thing there with the charging. Now, as far as the charging experience, I have been able to go charge on the supercharger network a few times, and it was flawless, plugged in, worked immediately, super nice. You might be lucky and you find a Tesla Model S from that 2013 to 2017, I think, maybe 2016, that has free supercharging. Unfortunately, this one didn't, so it must have been a lease or something like that, given back to Tesla, and then they deactivate it, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. So overall, can't complain about the charging experience as far as going to the Tesla supercharger. Now, what have I noticed about the efficiency so far? The efficiency has been, it kind of depends, but when I run the Climate, it's usually like around the 300 watt hour per mile to maybe 350, which isn't the best. I'm obviously used to my Kona, which was like a really efficient car. But this, it's fine. It's passable. It's going to get me to where I need to get for now until I trade it in. So definitely not the best efficiency. I've noticed that a little bit, but so that, honestly, I'm trying to think. I think I covered most of it. I enjoy the car. It's not, in my opinion, the best driving car. As far as the regen, I don't love how hard the regen is, and it doesn't bring it to a complete stop, which is kind of strange to me, because my Kona I could bring to a complete stop with my paddles and hold it down. As far as the regen goes, I've already talked about the suspension. I do like the feel. It feels great when you steer. It does everything you want to do. It's not too loose, which is fine. It's very planted in curves, which I like as well. So I don't feel like I'm going up on one wheel. This definitely feels nice. But yeah, so that's it as far as the driving. But it's a big car. I don't love big cars, so that's why I'm going to be excited to get back to the EX30. I've been getting used to how long the front is, and I guess how far I am from the front for parking. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. I wish the right here there was something here. There's no storage, which is annoying. This is kind of strange too, like that. So you got your rest there, and then if you want a cup, it doesn't really fit two cups very well next to each other, which is annoying. I had two Starbucks cups here earlier, and they were like tipping each other over. So yeah, but anyways, those are my initial impressions about the 2015 Tesla Model S. This is a used one. I didn't even tell you how many miles. I bought it with 88,310 miles. I think we're almost at 89,000 now. So it's an older, but it wasn't like abused from what I can tell. It seems to be, still working pretty well. But anyways, those are my general thoughts here about the Tesla. If you have anything else you want me to tell you about, just leave it in the comments down below. This was just like a little bit of informal, me kind of talking about the car and what it is. I'm sure there's plenty of videos talking about the 2015 Tesla Model S, but I'm going to give you my impression here 8 years later of how this car is kind of holding up. It's doing pretty well. Leather's a little warm, but it's all right. So thanks for watching. Hope you found this video useful. Again, like I said, leave comments down below if you have any questions. I love to answer questions. Remember to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you all next time.